Welcome back, everyone, to another Teddy review. Today, we are going to take a closer look at Diastone Memories. Is this the start of a really great overall series, or does it fall flat and leave us wanting more? Hey, grab a flashlight and hold on tight as we venture into the darkness. As always, a like is always appreciated. Subscribe and hit that bell for future notifications, and leave a comment below. Are you going to give this a try? What games are you looking forward to on the horizon? Always like to know what I could possibly review in the future. With that out of the way, here we go. Diastone Memories is a first-person search and find game. We're dropped into a home in Transylvania and work to unlock the mystery of what has happened to our parents. The game doesn't really give us any type of tutorial, and when you look within the menu screens, now all of the controls are truly there. I spent the first few minutes figuring out what I could and couldn't interact with, along with how to possibly interact with them. I found the graphics to be really well done, and the atmosphere, the sound design, the jump scares are all really impressive. I was constantly waiting for their next scare and hesitant to go around that next corner or open that door to really venture forward. I had the hair standing up on my arms numerous times. Although it's a simple idea, I loved how the game used lights and doors to progress scenes. I thought it was all really well done and impressive. There were a few glitches or hiccups in the gameplay. Within the first few minutes, I got stuck behind a cabinet door and a table and chair set. It didn't matter how many times I kept playing with that cabinet. There was no way for me to get out of there, and it really was frustrating, so I had to completely restart the game and start all over. Thankfully, it was really early on, and it didn't really matter that much. There were a few other instances throughout the game that I would get hung up on stairs, or the game would almost pause and hesitate as it loaded into the next, necessary frame or scene. Although it was rare, it really left a bad taste in my mouth and kind of stuck with me throughout the entire game. Without giving too much away, I really enjoyed the story within the small chapter, and I can really see where the game and story can evolve into. It's really got my attention. I might be slightly critical of some of the minor imperfections, but the experience as a whole was pretty enjoyable. Again, the ending left me interested and intrigued. I'd really like to see what future releases the company has for Diastone. There's definitely something that has me wanting more, which I think is positive. So on to the matter at hand, how do I score Diastone Memories? And I hope I'm saying this right. I would give it a 5.5 out of 10. That's going to sound rather low, but I'm going to explain why I think that way. There's a lot to like with the ambiance, the sound designs, the puzzles are pretty simple but interesting, and the graphics are there. But there's also quite a bit to get frustrated with. I feel like the mini-map was basically useless, at least in my opinion. There were significant stutters and imperfections in the transitions, which I talked about before. I also noticed that if you weren't perfect with where your mouse or your cursor needed to be on an item, you could easily miss it or walk back and forth 20 times and it wouldn't register. I had that issue when I was trying to get into one portion of the house, as well as when I was trying to pick up a specific item. I missed it 100 times. I noticed it once. I thought I had picked it up, and then I couldn't find it in my inventory, and I went all over the house about 10 times before I found it again. And I had walked by it 100 times without it registering, and that was really frustrating. And finally, if you knew all of the controls right away and what to expect, I think that you could easily finish this first chapter in half an hour, and that's not even making that up. It's just too short for the cost, at least at full price. I think as a discount, that half an hour is perfectly fine. Again, these are all just my opinions, but it's a little bit too much for what you're getting at this point. But again, I don't want to give away the end of the game. I want to play the next chapter, and I think they did that really well. And so that's why it is over that 5 mark. I know that's still small, but it's definitely not a throwaway game by any means. So that's going to do it for another Teddy review. Please leave a comment again, whether you agree or disagree with my review, and suggestions on future games to dive into. I love hearing what everyone else is playing or looking forward to playing. If you'd like to stay on top of what I'm doing daily, take a look at my Twitter and Instagram feeds that are on the screen now. And if you'd like to see me play some of these games, which I review live, hey, I'm doing it on Twitch, so take a look at my Twitch channel. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time.